It's a non-stop suffering due to this trauma and psychological situation of the children mainly and women for sure. 3 days ago, there was four ambulance cars belonged to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, which went to evacuate injured people in Rafah in the south of Gaza Strip. They till now they are no contact, and we have this concern that we're going to the stage of famine and the stage of more starvation.
With me, Amjad Shawa, General Director of the Palestinian NGOs network in Gaza. Amjad, good to have you here.
Thank you.
We talked during this war several times, and each time I ask you about the humanitarian situation in Gaza, you said it's catastrophic. Each time it was catastrophic. So I would like to ask you today how after this Israeli resuming airstrikes on Gaza last week, how would you describe the situation now?
Sorry to say, it's worse than the catastrophe itself that the people in Gaza are living in due to the Israeli resumption of the attacks on the Palestinian civilians. 800 people were killed, the majority of them, about 73 elders, women, and children. The attacks all over Gaza Strip, also the forcible displacement orders that issued by Israel for the Palestinians who in the north of Gaza, Beit Hanun, Beit Lahia, and under the Israeli airstrikes, people started to leave their tents in the north to the Gaza city. The same in Rafah, in Khan Yunis. So the estimate is about 130,000 people who were displaced till now, and this number is increasing. For the 24th day, Gaza crossings are closed, no entry for any aid materials and supplies to Gaza Strip. Gaza recently is suffering due to the severe collapse of the humanitarian system.
And these attacks are all over Gaza, actually. Are they preceded by any warnings? Do people have time to flee?
No pre-warning for the Palestinians who were airstriken, and this is the indicator of the big number of people who were killed or injured in Gaza to the Israeli airstrikes, which is continuous all the time in Gaza. And the 3 days ago there was four ambulance cars belonged to the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, which went to evacuate injured people in Rafah in the south of Gaza Strip. They till now they are no contact with these ambulance teams, and no idea about their safety, about their security, what happened with them till now. And this is an indicator how much are targeting. The same happened with the international staff of UN mass who were attacked when the Israeli airstrike in one of the UN buildings in Deir al-Balah in the middle area of Gaza Strip. There was no pre-warning, and one killed and six injured. The same of the ICRC compound in Rafah, which was also attacked by Israeli artillery. So the Israeli attacks, no pre-warning, and this happened for sure. This have severe implications on and threat on the lives of the Palestinians.
You mentioned those attacks on EU compound. After that, UN announced that it's withdrawing its staff from the Gaza Strip. Are these organizations that are operating on the ground still able to provide any help to the Palestinians?
The existence of the UN and the international organizations in Gaza Strip is very important. important to be an eyewitness to the Israeli crimes and to record these crimes and to send it to the international community. This is also they are main actors in the humanitarian aid delivery to the people. But this we're talking now in very critical moment since Israel denied the entry of the humanitarian supplies, which belong to WFP, to UNRWA, to other UN agencies, which is doing brilliant work during this crisis due to the humanitarian aid delivery. But recently, we are all suffering from the shortage of this aid. So we are calling on the UN system in order to increase the number of staff, not to decrease the number of the UN staff. Their existence is very important for us. It's kind of international protection which is needed for the people of Gaza. And in this, that's why Israel want to get to kick all these international stuff from Gaza and to apply its plans uh, to control Gaza fully on the account of the lives of the Palestinians here.
And are people starting to move again on a large scale, you know, because these attacks are all over Gaza. So do you see already people moving from the north to the south? And, you know, they've been displaced several times already. So where can they flee at the moment?
Yeah, it's now the estimates is from 130 to 150,000 people who flee from their residence neighborhoods from the tents that they stay in. As you know, after 15 months of uh, destruction, about 80% of Gaza homes were destroyed and damaged due to the Israeli airstrikes. So many people returned after and during the ceasefire to the rubbles of their homes, so they managed to build kind of tent over the rubbles, and others went to the sites. So now, after the resumption of the Israeli attacks on the Palestinians in Gaza Strip, there is a new displacement movement. Also, there was kind of forcible displacement orders by the Israeli occupation forces in the north and in the south. People in the north, they are coming to Gaza City mainly because you know the crossing the Israel separate now between the north and the south. It's not easy to move from the north to the south. But
Yeah,
people
because
from
we know
Rafah and
Gaza
Khan
has been divided into north and south,
yeah,
cut
it's
by
again,
the Israeli
it's
troops
cut
by
now
the
again, and
Netzarim corridor.
yeah, it's
Yes.
complicated the humanitarian situation now. So that's why there is a lot of warnings about the application of what had so-called the humanitarian bubbles by the Israeli occupation. And it was announced so many times by the Israeli occupation. This kind of system to be applied here that the Israeli army to control the humanitarian aid, which is something it could be uh, a step forward, the issue of more suffocation on the Palestinians.
And how is the access to water? The UN reports 1 in 10 people have access to safe water.
Yeah, the issue of water is something that very complicated, as everyone knows that Israel cut the electricity line, which was feeding the central desalination plant in the middle of Gaza Strip. And after the electricity cut, the amount of water production it's became less and less on the south and the middle area. And after now 24 days of the Israeli closure on Gaza, no more uh, spare parts and fuel is getting in Gaza. So the electricity generators need fuel. Also, we need filters for the electricity plant. Also, this fuel is needed to pump the water from the water wells which is a need for all needs in order to begin. So we have very critical moments till the end of the month that there will be big deficit on the fuel, so we cannot operate the generators to feed more water in Gaza, and this will have more or less water and water provision, whether it's for the daily use or for drink. So, but about the quality also, this is something we have big concerns about the quality of water and how much it's clean for water.
And tell me about the situation of children. We have seen horrifying pictures and videos of children with hair falling out from stress and constant trauma. What can you say about the situation of children?
It's a non-stop suffering due to this trauma and psychological situation of the children mainly, and women for sure. These children who were one of the main targets, the big number of the children who were injured or killed in this war, it's a very big number. And at the same time, these children are suffering from the issue of malnutrition, the issue of access to water. Now we have also big number now, about 35,000 orphans who are children. These children who lost their education, and in the same time they are traumatized due to these conditions. We are doing our best through psychosocial support programs that we are conducting. But after we leave the sites that we are in, uh, another airstrike will destroy all the efforts that we did again. And the issue of water, the issue of clothes, the issue of things. Most of the people lost their properties under the rubbles of their homes. So now and we lost so many infants because of freezing weather in Gaza. So many children, about 45 children, because of the malnutrition. So the children are the most vulnerable and the most people category of the people who are really suffering due to this conditions.
And what was the most horrifying scene you witnessed during the last weeks?
It's the intensive airstrikes all over Gaza Strip, and attacks on the hospitals. But the worst thing that we witnessed, the displacement, the new waves of displacement, which is really this time I was displaced uh, as most of the people of Gaza Strip. For about 15 months, I was displaced. But this displacement this time is very difficult one. Uh, and as I said, there is nothing to give. I'm receiving phone calls from so many families. They need tents, they need food, they need water, they need non-food items, they need clothes. We have nothing. This time I'm saying to them, we have nothing to give because of the closure of the crossings. So this is the most critical times that we are passing through, really, and this is the worst from the beginning of the war in Gaza.
And what was the people's reaction on the plans of the massive displacement out of Gaza?
The reaction, it's really people are angry, and at the same time they have high concerns what will be next. Since most of the attacks it's in the tents, and so many tens of people were killed in the sites area in Mawasi, for example. And this time that Israel clearly declared there will be kind of forcible deportation for the people, whether it's voluntary or forcible. for the people of Gaza. So people are curious what will happen next, what will be future after President Trump and declaration about his interest of people of Gaza deportation. So this time is very difficult time. We have such suffocation, starvation, and attacks. This will lead to kind of pushing the people for to leave Gaza.
So, Amjad, may I ask you a personal question? What do you eat daily? What do you have to your disposal?
You know that after this the Israel denial of the entry of the humanitarian aid to Gaza for 24 days now, there is and we are in Ramadan, the holy month. There is every day we are missing so many food items because of the Israel closure of the borders. Recently, most of we have no vegetables, no fruits, no meat, no cooking gas to cook. So we have the bread and rice, macaroni, and we have some beans that cooked mostly by the what have been called the community kitchens. That
Community
they
kitchens,
are,
yes.
yeah, or we call it tikkiye. That and this also community kitchens, decreasing the amount of the meals that they're using. It's became more and more people dependent on tikkiya because of the or the community kitchen because of the deficit of all food items. And we have concerns that day by day, the issue of bakeries, already 6 to 10 bakeries closed because they have no cooking gas to produce bread. And we have concerns about the wheat and the flour for the bakeries till the end of this month. Also, there will be no more flour to produce bread. So rice and bread and these materials are food items will be zero again, and we have this concern that we're going to the stage of famine and the stage of more starvation, and mainly children who will pay the price, and women and infants who are in bad need for food. So this is very critical moments that we are passing through. This is a call to all actors in order to pressure Israel to reopen the borders, to enter the humanitarian aid. This is the longest time of closure of the borders for and denial of entry of the humanitarian aid to Gaza.
Amjad Shawa, General Director of the Palestinian NGOs Network in Gaza, thank you so much for being with us and for your comments on the current situation in Gaza.